Dean, there's a man over there that scored a hat-trick. Did he tell you what it feels like?
I scored 10.
I know you do.
I don't understand that.
That was a performance today, wasn't it, Dean?
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously delighted for Albert. You know, he's scored goals, 15 goals. You know, you always want to be, as a centre forward, you always want to get into double figures, which I did every season. But no, delighted. Listen, now we're at.
I didn't know we'd booked a comedian.
I don't want to get paid for doing this. No, they were absolutely abysmal, weren't they, to be fair. I would have scored that trick today if I'd have been playing as well. So, no, but you have to beat them who are in front of you. They're bottom of the league, you know, and it looks as though they were bottom of the league. I thought we'd get a reaction. They'd get a reaction from a new manager. But fair play to the lads. 5 great finishes, 3 obviously, and the other 2, and then deflected goal from Aidan. But Steve will be delighted with the performance, the way they went about the business today. And like Bryan says, we were sat there, when it was 2-0, the game was over. And he said it could be 6 or 7 this, and obviously it was.
Yeah, Bryan, before the game you said an early goal and the floodgates could open, and you're absolutely right, as Dean's just hinted at.
Yeah, well, Charlton's lack of confidence was there for everyone to see. You know, we touched on it before the game. It was important how well Hull City started it. They're the team in form. If they, in previous games against lower opposition, they took the foot off the gas. Certainly didn't do that today, and the game was over in the first 15 minutes.
So overall, how did you rate City's performance? Because that although Charlton, as Dean said, weren't the best team that we've seen by a long stretch, the way we were passing the ball about was amazing, and so much confidence now.
Yeah, it was excellent. I thought the attitude from 1 to 11 was excellent. Even a big note for the substitutes as well. I thought they were brilliant when they came on. I thought they really adapted well to the game. And I know it's easy sometimes when you're coming on when it's 4 and 5, but you still got a job to do, and I thought they really stood out, the substitutes. But yeah, going forward, I thought they were a real threat, defensively solid as well. For Charlton, the new manager's got a lot of work to do there. Defensively, no organisation. There's 2 centre-backs. I think Dean's right. I think he could have played against them today. But yeah.
Have you been on the beer as well?
No, I'm on a dry January. But yeah, it was abysmal at times by Charlton, but fair play to Hull City. It was a pleasure to watch.
And Dean, I think you raised an eyebrow before the game when you saw the team, because you thought, well, there's going to be no changes here, but we had 2 big changes. No Elmo for a start. That was a big call to make, and Steve Bruce might have had, a little bit of egg on his face if it had all gone wrong today.
Well, we said that, didn't we? Makes decisions. That's why he gets paid to do them decisions. It's worked for him today because they got them questions asked. Why did you leave him out? Spoke to the players in the director's box, just resting people, which is part of the squad now. Part of the, that's what happens. Michael, I spoke to Michael and Bruce, they'll be back for the cup game, so that's another plus for us. Hopefully we'll keep everybody in January. There's going to be a lot of speculation about players coming and going, but I'm sure that Steve will want to keep the team that he's got now and the squad that he's got now. All I'm concerned about now is, in a sense, is winning away games. If we play like we do here, then we've got no problems. Middlesbrough's lost today, Derby's lost today, and I'm sure we'll lose. We'll lose from now to the end of the season. It's going to, I don't know, 19, 20 games to go. So it's, the nitty gritty comes when there's about 10 games to go, and if we're in this situation in 10 games to go, then I'm quite confident. The way that we're playing, especially at home. We said when we played, and I say every week, if you win your home games, you're going to be up there, either in the playoffs or automatic. And we've only been beat once here, so hopefully that may continue. But Steve, like he said yesterday, that he's got to get that. We've got to get that consistency. The players have got to have that mentality what they have out there. I don't know what Bryan thought, but I like playing away sometimes because it's less pressure on you. The supporters go away, they have a day out, they go on the beer, they start shouting and chanting, whether win or lose, because it's a day out for them. So there's less pressure on the players. I don't know what the players are like here, but they seem to enjoy themselves here. Well, if they have that mentality away from home, then we'll get automatic.
At half-time, we were 4-0 up, and Abel Hernandez scored the first goal. And you said on this very stage, an hour before the kick-off, I fancy 4-0 and the first goal for Abel Hernandez. Had you put a bet on?
I'm not allowed to.
Oh, because I was worried about you at half-time. I thought, we're going to score more than 4 here.
Well, I was worried that I didn't put a bet on when they did score. because when he did score, but when we scored the second, I knew it wouldn't be 4. Because they'd gone. Listen, me and Bryan were talking on the direct. I've been in games like that where you're getting beat 3 or 4, and you just want the referee to blow the whistle. You know, even when you're on the bench, you don't even want to come on. You know, so I've been there, but I've been in games where you could tell the players wanted the ball. Now, you know, you talk about bravery. You know, bravery is when you draw 0-0 and the pressure's on and you want the ball. It's easy when you're 4 or 5-0 up, you know, to have the ball. And you know, as you say, Bryan touched on it. The subs come on. Tom, you know, run the game when they come on. It sorted Tom down to the ground. But we'll put this one to bed now. That's gone. Everybody's happy. 6 goals. You know, hat-trick from your main striker. You know, Steve will be absolutely delighted. You know, now we're not playing at home for a month. Let's see how we do away from home.
Bryan, it's lovely to see you back here again. Good luck, sir. Thank you for being here today, and Dean, thanks for being our guest once again. Yeah, always getting it wrong. Never mind, mate. One day, please would you put your hands together. Firstly for Bryan Hughes and for Dean Windass. Thank you for being here today, fellas. It's brilliant.